Alright, so today we're working on the 2016 Hyundai Veloster. Basically today is a pre-track day setup, so I have a track day coming in about 2 weeks, so I'm going to rotate the tires. I do this every session, so I'll run the tires and then at the end of that session I'll rotate them front to back, so each session they just get moved. The other thing I'm going to do is check the brakes. These brakes have been on for 2 sessions so far this year, so I don't expect too much, but the measurements I've taken, when I put them on, I'll be able to measure them and see how much tread we have, and when we get down to about 50% or just under 50%, I'll be swapping them out. So I got my jack stands out, I have my jack and my air gun, so I'm going to get that set, and this way I can look at the tires and stuff. So give me a second while I get everything set up. First thing I'm going to do is break all these loose. Car's up in the air, sitting on jack stands. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to start by pulling off the wheels. Alright. Well, maybe. Alright, let's take a look at our rear tire here. So, you can see all of this rubber, it's gotten heated up and melted because the back of this car slides side to side going through corners. You can see how much of the sidewall we're getting up on, where the color changes here. But you can see how much the rubber is moved from side to side. We still have fairly good indication on our wear bars. We're still good down inside there, so we're good there. But you can definitely tell the tire is getting worn on one side more than the other. Now, you can really see how much rubber is built up out here on the outer edges. So that's why I swapped these from front to back. Alright, one other quick thing we're going to do is we're going to do a quick measurement on the brake. I'm not going to take it off. I can do it from here. Here's this little caliper set I bought. Came off of Amazon. It was 10 bucks. It comes with the feeler gauge. It comes with the digital caliper. Thing we want to check, since we put the new brake lines on, these are braided brake lines. They are staying up out of the way. At least this one is. So hopefully all of them are. I did have a problem on the driver's side. I had to use a zip tie to pull it up. For some reason it kept wanting to flop into the tire, so hopefully that has stayed up out of the way. I haven't driven this car since the last track day, except up to the corner, literally, like 50 feet to the post office. So, other than that, everything else looks alright down here. Got new shocks, got new springs. You can see the sway bar, you can see the exhaust is all new. Clamps are still tight. Nothing is moving or rattling. So this end all looks good. I don't really have any play in the rear end. So, alright, so let me pull the front wheel. Well, let me get this measured real quick and then I'll pull the front wheel. So quick measurement, we are at 10.8 mil, which is meaning we still have a ton of pad left. We're not even getting close to the 50% mark. We can definitely wear that down quite a bit more. So 10.8, that's how much pad we have left, so we are still doing really good in the rear. Alright. So we'll get these knocked off. Now if you look at this, the front tire, you can still see we're wearing in this direction. So we're wearing towards the car, that's how much the car slides. But you can also see there's no rolled up rubber. So basically, now this tire will go in the back, and that one will come in the front, and then we'll get all that cleaned off. Usually that stuff rolls right off within the first lap or two. We still have quite a bit of wear marker left. I need to get my tire gauge out, but we still have a ton. Brakes here are looking pretty good. No wear. Now these brakes came, it's hard to tell, but they were black. They had a protective coating on them. So what you're seeing here is the protective coating as it wears off with this carbon ceramic pad. So you can see the blackness that's up inside there. They sprayed these whole things down. Again, I got these rotors and brakes off of Amazon because the brakes that I wanted were unavailable and I needed brakes. So this was a set that came off of Amazon. Full set was about $260. And the R1 concepts were just a little bit more, which is the brakes I was actually trying to get, but they were out of stock. And you know, when I tell people that I only drive this car on a track, if people don't believe me, yeah, it's full of cobwebs. So that happens. But yeah, let's take a look at all my stuff here. So I have my sway bar, my links. Everything seems still tight. I don't see anything moving. Look under the car here, no leaks. So I always check the car for leaks because most of the tracks have rules about leaks and stuff. So if you can keep your car from leaking, that's a good thing. So yeah, again, braided lines. They look like they've been clearing. No wear marks. Everything else is still nice and tight. So I do have. I am rubbing. How funny. It's kind of hard to see, but that shiny mark is where it's rubbing on the sway bar. So when I put this thing back on the ground, I need to look at this and see. I can feel where it's rubbed down here. So I guess that's what's been rubbing. Okay, well, you know, when you modify cars and change the ride height a little bit, that happens. But everything else looks good. I don't see any leaks or tears in any of my boots. So I'm going to measure this pad real quick, and we'll see. 1 second while I get the calipers. Alright, so in the front, I don't know if you can read that, it says 8.1. So we are using a little bit more brake in the front, but we still have plenty left. Alright, so now I pulled the rear tire to the front, and I'm looking here at the inside, and it may not be easy to see. But see all these little black chunks? There, and right there, there's one right here, there's one right there, and there. There's some over here, and then you get down here to where these big ones are. Yeah, that's rubber, and it looks like it's rubber not from my car, because how do you get rubber on the inside? So I'm just going to, I mean, these are, look how black that is. I did order a brush. I should probably wash these. You know what? I think I will. Be right back. Alright, as you can see, I've cleaned the bottom a little bit. Huge difference. So we're going to go ahead and clean all of that, get all that crap off there. Alright, so one clean wheel, and that's all I've done. The other one is still dirty. I need to go get my extension battery because my camera is almost dead. I would like to get these hands started and snug down on a couple of them before putting air to it. The other thing I will be doing is coming back and working. Alright, and I'm using my lowest setting on my particular gun, which is the first stop. So, once it's back on the ground, I will torque all the wheels down and call it good. So, next thing, I'm going to wash the other wheel and put it on. Back in a second. Okay. Wheel's been washed and cleaned. And now, let's get it up here. 1, 2, 3, there we go. 1, 2. They don't really talk much about that. Alright. Alright, now drop it on the ground. We'll grab the jack, put her back on the ground, and then do the same thing on the other side. So, let me do that real quick. I'll be right back. I've been asked by a couple of people if all of the frame stuff I did, which I don't know if you can see it up underneath there, all the yellow crossbars and stuff, if it actually makes a difference. You can see that the front end is up on a jack stand and the front wheel is off the ground. You can see here's the other jack stand. There is the jack. Of course, now my cable is, so there's the jack, not under the car, and yeah, so my car is so stiff, I can still get almost 3 fingers underneath there, so about the same. That's how rigid this car has become since I put all of those cross pieces. Before, the back end would sag. Now that might have something to do with the rear sway bar, those cross beams or whatever, but it has really tightened this car up quite a bit. Alright, so back on subject, let's get that front end back on the ground and get to the other side. Alright, wheels already in the air, the car's already in the air. This is our phone. Much the same thing we had on the other tire, front tire I should say. No sideward rubber, lots of rubber on the inside. Let's see, let's go ahead and take a hard look over here. This is our driver's side. We're going to check our cables. No rubbing. Let's see here. So, no rubbing here. That's a good thing. Lots of cobwebs. as you can see, the car does not get driven much, except on the track. Alright, let's see, everything else is tight. Nothing else is moving, okay. No wear. Alright, I don't see anything wearing, I don't see any leaks. Alright, so let's take a measurement real quick on the... Alright, so caliper's out, we're going to do a measurement real quick. And on this side, we are at 8.6. Alright, car's off the ground, sitting on 2 jack stands again. Just like on the other rear, you can see all of this rubber. So it means the car is constantly sliding in this direction and rubber is being pushed in that direction. So tire will stay right there. We're going to check everything. Right there is where the tire rubbed on the brake cable after I put it in, so this is my fix for that. A couple of zip ties and it stays up out of the way now. Not really rubbing on that piece of plastic right there, so that's good, that's out of the way. So yeah, if you do these brake lines, you do need to make sure that because of how they were in the packaging, they may want to rest out or against the tire, so you want to definitely make sure. And there seems to be less room on this side from here to the tire than there is on the other side, so that's a big thing too. So yeah, that looks good. This all looks good. Nothing's moved. Everything's tight. No leaks. I don't see anything out of place. Bolts are all nice and where they're supposed to be. Brake pad. Brakes look good. Alright, let's throw a measurement on that real quick and see what we get. So on this side, we are at 9.8. I believe the other side was at 10. I'd have to go back and double check. But still, we have tons of brake left. Everything seems to be doing well. Other than that, just a little dirty. So, what we're going to do now is take our clean tire. This is the front one that we just washed. And we're going to put it back on, and then we'll wash that one and put it on the front. Alright, let me get organized. I got too many things going on here. Back in a second. Alright, let's see about getting this back on here. So, wheels are torqued, everything's done, brakes were all checked. We're going to go ahead and get this out of the way. Okay, maybe. Or not. Alright, might be hard to tell. Set to 95 on my torque wrench. Alright, 3 more wheels to go. I don't think you really need to watch this. Alright, wheels are on, wheels are torqued. Now I need to sort through my track tools, or whatever you want to call it, my things that I take with me. For starters, we take a spare tire, my helmet and Hans unit, some Windex, some goo be gone in case you get crap on your windows somewhere along the line. And then what I have here is a bag that I store most of my stuff in, and then I put it in this tub. This way, if it rains, the tub's waterproof, it has a lid. If I need to grab this bag out of there, all I have to do is pick it up by the handles, and then I can just keep everything in one location. So, what goes in this bag? Well, first thing that goes in this bag is my toolbox. This is just a Craftsman 101 piece toolbox. I don't take any spare parts with me to the track. I don't really have a way to repair this car if I was to damage it, so most of the tools here would be just to something minor that gets broken. Everything else I would have to be towed home. So I'm not worried too much about that. So that's my toolbox that goes into the bag. It's fairly straightforward. This is a screwdriver bit set, has Torx, the whole bit, just in case I need something like that. A air compressor. Other things that I take with me, an air gauge. Let's see what else is in that bag. Pocket, where is it? Oops, there we go. Whoops, somewhere in there is a, I dropped it. Let's see, did it fall? Yep, it did. This is what happens when you dump everything out upside down. Tire depth gauge, something to carry with you just in case. Pair of gloves. You can either use them for track gloves or repair gloves like I do. So I just leave those in there. A couple extra clamps that fit miscellaneous things. Torque wrench. That's always good to have. Of course, the micrometer and a breaker bar jack. The other thing I also bring is some old spark plugs that I've had in this car. I have a couple different sets in here. One is an original set, another set I've got about 2 track days on, so they're still good, and a rubber hose. I always carry a small piece of rubber hose because this is so good for getting spark plugs out of the inside of the motor. Just stick it in there and give it a few twists, and you can pull plugs out without having to worry about damaging them. The other thing I carry is this battery cigarette adapter for the pump. I've found in the past, if you continuously try to use your cigarette lighter or power port in the car to air up your tires, you have a tendency to blow the fuses out. This is a much better unit. It's heavier wire, and I've had less issues blowing fuses. So if you're going to use an electric pump, I suggest going straight off the battery. And then a bunch of rags. And and because we're at a track day, a chair. So that's pretty much what I take. Other than my cameras, of course, extra battery units. I carry 2 battery units. I have 3 cameras, my cell phone. That's pretty much, oh, and the remotes for 2 of the GoPros. So yeah, that's pretty much what I take to track. It's really limited, but it gets me through the day and I don't have to worry about it. I've seen people bring tents and awnings and all, tons of stuff. Their cars are packed when they show up to the track. Some people bring spare set of wheels in the car and swap track tires on. If I get to that point, I'll just trailer the car behind my truck and carry the parts in there. But so thanks for watching. This is my basic prepping of the car, going over everything. The only thing I didn't cover in this would have been checking the oil and the coolant levels, but I've already done that and I just didn't take a video of it. So those things are all done. The brakes were checked. The fluid was flushed last track day, so a month ago all the fluid was in the brakes was flushed out and replaced with .4. So that's all done, and I believe I have a video up on that if you want to go look at that. But again, thanks for watching.